Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is good to be back. I'll say that much. Now, a lot of you are going to notice that I sound a little different. It's springtime, and I have seriously bad allergies. So I'm going to sound a little nasally. I was thinking about using a voice filter over it to hide this, but you know what? I'm getting a grip over it right now. So I don't sound as bad as I did a few minutes ago. So it's very important when having this shield topic. This is not what I'm talking about, okay? Not these bubble shields. We already have something for it. It's called a safe zone. So my idea with these shields coming up is, well, as you all probably saw in the previous video, it's about a half hour long. I don't blame a lot of you for not watching it all the way. For those who did, hey, thanks for watching all that. It's amazing. Um, you all shared some really good ideas, and we're going to go over them, and we're going to see both sides, and just comment down below where you stand on this, any kind of compromises you'd make, your feelings, your thoughts. Yeah, just mention, just go through. It's also important to note that when I go over these comments, I am not being malicious. I'm not meaning to attack. If anyone ever feels all this, I have blurred out the names and the profile pictures to make sure, you know, I'm not like to make it seem like I'm not doxing anybody or anything. I don't know. It's just a added layer of security for you all, I guess. If yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but you know, let's just get on with it. Let's get on with it. Okay, so first set that we're gonna look at is what this man has to say right here. I'm not gonna say any usernames as I've just mentioned. Uh, you know, but he's talking about how many of the weapons have improved. There's a lot more torpedoes coming out, and basically ways of how you design a ship to, you know, avoid getting hit by railguns and such. Now, personally, when railguns first came out, I think we all thought that they were just way crazy overpowered. But looking at it now, I think warheads still hold the what's the word I'm looking for here? They still hold the hill on the most damage you could possibly get. Because with warheads, you could slap it on a missile, throw it out as far as you want, boom. It doesn't even have to hit. I mean, you just have a sensor system and it blows up close to the ship. So this here, he makes some very valid points. You could do, but with things that you can do with scripts, fighters, and then just using armor to your advantage. And yes, that's great, and I do support that. I don't know why I said it like that. Fuck. Um, yeah, but he does bring up one thing. Uh, Space, weight, power, which could go into shields, could be used for other things such as mobility and weapons. If you have shields, why bother with designing a ship for damage mitigation rather than expensive power system and shield system? Designing for both means neither is done as well. I'm afraid I will have to disagree with you on that, my friend. After all, we are engineers. But that is a very valid point. If you want to have a stronger shield system in a ship, you are going to have to sacrifice mobility or other things such as that in order to accommodate for the shield system. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with this. But I think that the trade-off that the shield system has could make it worth it. Also, when it comes down to shields, you know what? I'll make this point on the next comment. So let's take a look at the next one. So the point this guy brings up is it's been a while, but I heard developer didn't want to add energy-based weapons because it wasn't realistic enough. Now he's talking about weapon systems. Now, modern day, we already have like laser cutters, and we've already shot down a drone using a laser equipped on a destroyer. So, lasers are a thing now. But in this sense, realistic enough as in being the time zone that this takes place in. This game takes place about like what, 2080s, 2090s? Now, with a shield, that is a little more farther out there. However, when we think of a shield system, we think of like a regenerating field. When rather, shield starting out wouldn't really be, a constantly regenerating brick wall of invulnerability. But I think starting out, it would be like a wall that rather than completely absorbing everything and stopping it dead in its tracks, it slows it down, thus reducing the impact. It would be more of impact reduction. So to hit a time zone, I mean, this guy basically mentioned already, the game has jump drives, gravity generators, cryopods, so why not energy-based weapons? Well, jump drive, gravity generators are more for game mechanics to make the game more playable. Otherwise, we'd have to have unlimited speed to compensate for both of those at the same time, and a ship that constantly accelerates at 9.80 some meters per second, matching up with our actual gravity. And then you have to build a ship where, uh, it's not built like traditional sci-fi ships where everything's built long ways, but rather it's built up. Like a tower with a rocket at the bottom of it. And I don't think a lot of people would be playing this game still if it was basically like that one show. What the hell is it called? Battlestar Galactica or something? I can't quite remember. But there's a really good show that shows what realistic sci-fi warfare would look like. But yeah, I mean, the shields wouldn't seem too far out of place with the fact that we have things like jump drives and gravity generators. But at the same time, those things we already know how we can get them to theoretically work. However, a shield generator, we just know like the end result, what it does. We have no idea how it would accomplish that feat. So my whole thing would be, it's just it just sends out like a directional wall that just slows something down. It's like a tractor field almost. So, that's my thought on that. So let's go on. Let's see what the next comment is. Okay, so this guy brings up the whole thing of just engineering a straight up better ship. All right? So, design proper armor schemes, bulkheads, structure support like armored spine and framework, citadels, etc. Now, at the same time, like we said before, that all comes down to engineering. All this stuff can be done right now. And you could build a hell of an effective ship just using proper armor angles. But when it comes down to armor and armor quality, personally, I do think we are lacking. That could actually make this far more appealing in design rather than a shield system. But then again, a shield system just sounds cooler. But so in terms of armor, uh, let's see how many other people are talking about a need for armor, because I think we need better armor. And yeah, well, I'll show you. As we see, a lot of people are calling for better armor in the game. Now, what can those things entail? So, I mean, let's look at the top comment, or let's middle comment. Better armor will be better than shield. All right, yeah, I can agree with that. There's definitely some armor that exists today in modern time that's basically a one-time use force field-ish type of. I'm talking about reactive armor, of course. And that's yeah, I definitely say we need those, like a form of reactive armor or other forms of armor. So let's just read on through this. No shields, better armor schemes, sure. Railguns take a minute to recharge and only kill if they hit something important. So being able to defend that important part, the ability to move quickly and to evade, definitely a necessity. Now, you only have two armor types, light and heavy. Now you can use blast doors, blocks, but the angles, the shapes you can get with those are limited, and it's annoying. So, you can't really have certain spots properly, armored with that medium armor you want. You know, I say we need medium armor in the game for sure. That's something we absolutely need. It's more protective than light, but it's not as heavy, not as expensive, not as bulky. It doesn't make your ship as slow as heavy armor. I mean, who else agrees with me on that? Let's bring in some medium freaking armor. All right? Now, look at the bottom. He says we don't really need shields as fanboys keep doing it wrong. Yes, I completely agree with that. A lot of the mods I find for shields, the shield system is just a giant bubble of invulnerability, and I'm not a big fan of that. As I said before, I believe if shields were to be implemented into this game, we need to do something fresh, something new, something that hasn't really been done, and rather it's more of mitigation. It just halves the damage, and it's not a bubble. You have to decide between, you know, one or two sides at once that need to be protected. And we're fighting on a 3D plane, so, front left upper, one of those sides is taking full damage. And then if, they're using drones, then yeah, you're just getting surrounded. And those shields will do a little bit for you, but ultimately not a whole lot. And a projector limit as well. Um, there was a comment that was talking about that we'll get to here in a little bit. I'll probably put a timestamp up there in the corner for y'all. No, crap. I got a cough. Okay, back from coughing my throat out. I can taste blood. So, yes, so they keep getting it wrong. I completely agree with that. Uh, Designers and authors keep doing it wrong to satisfy stupidity of fanboys. I wouldn't be that harsh, but yes, it's always that whole bubble thing. Uh, it's best to just leave them out rather than continue screwing them up. Well, this is why I'm making this video series, my friend. Uh, we're we're working on this. So, I'm sorry. This is to find a good system that everybody could agree with and everybody would certainly like. And we find that idea, we just push it into Keen software. So whether it be shield systems or far better armor, that's what I'm that's what I'm trying to figure out with the community here. Which one do we definitely want? Or which one, could we implement one thing? Or satisfy one side of the community without pissing off the other. So, we need to find something that does work, that does seem great. Better interactions between armor and weapons? Yes. Yes, that is a definite. Some of the weapons are overpowered in one area and then completely ineffective in another. Artillery and they just really good against light. Everything is piercing. So you gotta have like many layers. But you go up against heavy armor and it's just nothing. I think that needs to be reworked. And we'll go over some weapon reworks in another video that I will be making and releasing probably today. I just thought of doing this right now. So, yeah, hey, two possibly back-to-back videos. Uh, yeah. So, better component cost balance for various types of armor. yes, for the love of God. A reduction in such cost would be best. Well, we could probably keep heavy armor the way it is, but just add in medium. Or maybe, yeah, no, heavy armor could use a slight reduction. But if it's reduced in resource cost, then it would also be reduced in weight. So it wouldn't be as heavy. I don't know. I think we need medium armor. Maybe if heavy armor got a little bit lighter, and then we had medium armor, so then we've got those three tiers, and then the blast doors is it somewhere in between heavy and medium, just right in that little mid pot. Mid cannot talk worth a damn. It'd be right there in that little middle spot, in terms of protection or something, or maybe blast doors would be in between light and medium. Either way, it adds in more variations to use, and thus makes things, you know, just what's the word I'm looking for? Okay, I think you all get where I'm going at with this. So maybe make some armor plating variants that can be reactive. Yes, definitely. I've been, yeah. They explode when destroyed. That one part just blows up. The round is gone because it blew up with the armor. It just prevents all damage around them. Yeah, that's wonderful. Such things can be a very expensive piece of armor. It wouldn't necessarily be a block, as it would be like that little, you know, shield or like plating that we currently have as of right now. Yes, I am in definite support of reactive armor. In fact, if you watch some of my previous videos when Warfare 1, 2, and trying to predict what Warfare 2 would bring, I was dying and hoping for some freaking reactive armor. It would have been amazing just to have. So yeah, that's yes, better armor system could definitely triumph over a better shield system. Reactive armor, other things such as that. It's like, oh, you got shot in that one spot. It's open now. It provides you that one little extra hit that to keep you going, as opposed to what the one guy said previously. You need to have like 30 layers of heavy armor in front of your ship if you're ever going to make it. But this guy says, I I'm pretty much on his side with that, mostly at least. Uh, this little best to leave them out, can't fully agree with, because I want to, you know, bring him in a way where they're not, as he said, uh, up. So I'm sorry, I'm having a lot of fun with this voice mod thing. Let's keep looking at other comments. Okay, yeah, it looks like I didn't actually touch on this point when I thought I did. Oh well. So, this guy is talking about the one thing that we were discussing earlier. You need at least a dozen layers of heavy armor in front of your ship if you want to fight and last longer than 30 seconds. Yeah, that's true. That's something I've still been finding out, and it's gotten a little bit worse since now we have better target lock that some people have managed to find a way to create just beautiful automated drone swarms and even, fleet escorts. I'll uh I'll direct you guys to that video in the description below if you want to know what I'm talking about. A wonderful YouTuber, she points out a lot of amazing stuff that can be used for this game. Her name will be posted up somewhere on the screen. So now, other people are saying it's because weapons are best against lighter, smaller targets. Artillery and railguns are definitely powerful, but they don't do well against smaller, faster, more maneuverable craft, as artillery turrets have slower turret traverse, and railguns take a while to charge up. If you build a ship with only artillery and or railguns, you're going to get wrecked by smaller ships, just outrun the artillery turrets, traverse and you can dodge rounds. Autocannons aren't very good at getting large, heavy grid armor blocks because it's not what they're for. Autocannons are good anti-fighter small craft weapons. Yes, but what about the assault? The assault turret is garbage all around. It does barely anything against light armor. I mean, you go through a few layers with the assault cannon, but you try to shoot some with heavy, and it took me what 30 some shots to destroy a single piece of heavy armor. Yeah, I'm not joking with that. It was ridiculous. Yes, so what they're saying is, you know, you can have just a wall of artillery firing at you at once, but you know, a fast-moving ship is easy to dodge. Now, I created something called a Hailstorm anti-aircraft defense system. And what that was is it was multiple. I'm talking like 40 some rockets spinning on a rotor that created multiple layer rings right next to each other, firing these rounds in a very sporadic pattern. Like very sporadic, very unpredictable. And it was just a huge barrier of explosions. Well, turns out if your ship is fast enough and nimble enough, you just go right through them. And I'm talking that thing covered. I mean, it destroyed everything. Let's say if you were 800 meters away, everything in a 500-meter circle was just blown up, destroyed, gone. It was way too expensive to be practical, so I abandoned that. But that's definitely that's the problem with these giant walls of guns. They're expensive, hard to maintain, hard to manage. You know, you get attacked once, all this stuff is fired. Who knows how many rounds? Good luck getting another round in, or surviving a reattack. I'm just saying. But yeah, I think that maybe some different types of rounds for weapons could be used. So let's go on to the next comment, see what other points are made. Last comment, in terms of shield discussion, this person states, shields don't help as much because well, basically it makes combat longer. Now, some people like long combat. At times I do. I like, having long, drug out battles because they're just more intense as it goes on. But eventually it does get tiring. I can agree with. I think many people would agree with me on that. Some people don't like combat at all. All right, and so they don't want battles to be drug out very long. It just opens more opportunity for more mayhem, and some people don't really like that mayhem. So, it's I mean, he's saying that we already have safe zones. Let me just reread through this real quick. I'm sorry, my brain's scattered. So basically, as I said before, it's not a bubble. So I believe this person was thinking it was kind of in a bubble, and when I bring it up, like you can only use two sides at once. Their whole thing is that they will just turn on the shielded size, thus resonating again longer battles. Not quite. Remember, we're in a three-dimensional plane, and a ship is able to position itself at a corner to where you could fire at three sides, whereas the person's only able to protect two. And what they want to protect, that all depends. Where's your what am I looking for here? Where's all your damageable stuff at? Where's all the stuff you need to protect at compared to where the ship is positioned? So even if one side's more exposed than the other, the lesser exposed one might have the more valuable things, and so you want to protect that. And so then you have one large side out of the two large seeable sides that are, one is not protected. And what this will do in terms of combat, will be seeing some more maneuverable ships if that type of shield system is implemented. Because you have to quickly turn your ship, angle them out right, and then it's a game of basically outmaneuvering, but also what I've seen in an old Conquest server I used to play on. You can actually mess with people's heads to where you can fake them out and they will move the wrong direction. And it is it's amazing watching that happen. So the other thing is, with this type of shield system, if you want to fire to the same direction that your shield's at, you're going to be doing less damage. So, if you have a ship that's designed to put out a bunch of damage at once, you lower the shields, fire your barrage, raise them back up. If you're doing a tank type of thing, yeah, shields up all the way. Go for it. I mean, if you're building basically just a ship that's just like a skinny little cross or whatnot, and it just creates a wall to protect other ships behind you. And, there's some. Damn it. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, safe zones already, as this person says, they stick out way too much as they are, as futuristic. And so, it's just, um, I think I've already made these points a lot already. So, on to weaponry works, I guess. Okay, you know what? On second thought, I'll do that in a separate video, because we'll be talking about what is currently in the game right now with weaponry works. So, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. All right. I don't know when next time's going to be, but